Lesson 5. Excuses of Tom Sawyer. Tom Sawyer was unhappy because it was Monday morning. Monday morning always found him so, because it began another week of school. He often wished that there had been no holiday on Sundays, as it made going again into confinement. Tom lay thinking. Presently, it occurred to him that he wished he was sick so that he would not have to go to school. There was a vague possibility. He examined his whole body but couldn't find an ailment. He thought he had some pain in his stomach and began to encourage it. But soon the stomach pain vanished entirely. Now he was thinking something else. He discovered something. One of his teeth in upper jaw was loose. He started to groan, but then he thought that his aunt would pull it out, and that would hurt. So he decided to hold the tooth in reserve for the future and seek further. Suddenly, he remembered hearing the doctor tell about a certain thing that laid up a patient for 2 or 3 weeks and threatened to make him lose a finger. So the boy eagerly drew his sore toe from under the sheet and held it up for inspection. But now he did not know the necessary symptoms. However, he decided to take a chance, so he fell to groaning with considerable spirit. But Sid slept on unconscious. Tom groaned louder. He began to feel that there was pain in his toe really. Tom started panting with his exertions. But Sid snored on. Tom said angrily, "Sid! Sid!" and shook him. Tom began to groan again. Sid yawned, stretched his arms and began to stare at Tom. Sid said, "Tom! Say, what's the matter?" No response. "Say, Tom! What happened, Tom?" And he shook him. He looked in his face anxiously. Tom moaned out, "Oh, don't, Sid. Don't joggle me." "Why? What happened? Should I call Auntie? How can I help you?" "No, never mind. It'll be over by and by, maybe. Don't call anybody." "But I must. Don't groan so painfully, Tom. I feel awful." "How long have you been this way?" "Hours." "Ouch. Oh, don't stir me so forcefully, Sid. You will kill me." "Tom, why didn't you wake me sooner?" "Oh. Tom, don't cry. I forgive you for everything, Sid." Groans, "Everything you've ever done too. When I am gone." "Oh, Tom. You can't die. Don't, Tom." Sid flew downstairs. "Oh, Aunt Polly," he cried, "come at once. Tom is dying." "Dying?" Aunt Polly cried instantly. "Yes, Auntie. Don't wait, come quickly." "Rubbish. I don't believe it." But she fled upstairs nevertheless, with Sid at her heels. Her face grew white and her lips began to tremble. She went to the bedside and gasped out, "Tom! Tom! What happened?" "Oh, Auntie, I'm..." "What's the matter with you?" "Oh, Auntie, my sore toe is killing me." Aunt Polly laughed a little, then cried a little. "Oh, Tom, what a shock you gave me," said Aunt Polly. "Now shut up your mouth and climb out of your bed." The groan ended and the pain disappeared from the toe. He felt a little foolish and said, "Aunt Polly, My toe hurt so much that I forgot about my tooth at all. Your tooth. What happened with your tooth? One of them is loose, and it aches awfully. Aunt Polly said, Now don't start groaning again. Open your mouth while your tooth is loose. Mary, get me a silk thread and a chunk of fire out of the kitchen. Tom said, Oh, please, Auntie. I don't want to stay home from school. Oh, you don't you? So all this row was because you thought you'd get to some excuse to stay at home from school and go for fishing? Tom, I love you and you always try to break my heart. By this time the dental instruments were ready. Aunt Polly tied one end of the silk thread to Tom's tooth and the other to the bedpost. Then she seized the pan of burning coals and suddenly thrust it almost into the boy's face. And the tooth was out, dangling by the bedpost. Aunt Polly said, Now your tooth has been taken out. Boy, you don't need to stay at home. You should go to school.